Music moneymakers, as a new record label owner, you need an attorney. You need one that you can actually afford. And even though you don't have one, you're missing one thing, and that's connections. The connections in this music industry can help bring that attorney to you. In the beginning, I didn't know where to start looking for attorneys. And to be quite frank, I'll just say this, that many of my attorneys didn't come from looking online, though you can find one, and we'll dig into that in a minute. But the thing about it is it actually leaves you feeling a little bit intimidated because this is kind of one of the first doors into the music industry that you'll have access to, and that will also give you access. It's not the only one, but it's really the first one that will open up some of the music industry to you, especially if you already have some progress with some things. No new record label should be left in the dark without knowing how to find their attorney, and I'm going to give you some tips and some tricks to help you find the right attorney for you coming up right here on the Music Money Makeover Show. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Music Money Makeover Show. My name is Casey Graham, and look, let's hop right into this thing. Now, we want to find an attorney that's in your region, possibly in the physical or online. Either way, we got to find one in this region. Like we're still in this region within this video series right here. Okay. So the thing about it is you want to get some referrals from people in your area, music industry professionals and people who are practitioners of the music industry. You want to network with them to get some referrals to these attorneys. Like I was saying in the intro, I've never gotten an attorney based on looking online. You can find one, but it's easier to establish that relationship face-to-face or through a referral. This is how doors open in the music industry, not necessarily from reaching out online, cold calling, cold emailing, but actually getting a referral. Hand-to-hand combat is how you open doors in this industry. And to be quite frank, over my 20 years, all of my attorneys have come from referrals or actually meeting them in person. I've never reached out online to an attorney, and I've always gotten what I've needed for the most part. And I'm going to explain one of the ways I've skated around that a little bit later in the show. Here's the number one way that I found my first attorney or set of attorneys that I wanted to use. I didn't use all of them, but this is how I found them. I went to networking events, especially those for the music business. You can always find these, attorneys just all over these types of networking events. Not hood industry mixers, but you'll find them in specific industry mixers catered directly to the music industry, and they're going to be all over the place later because they're trying to get new clients everywhere. Attorneys are there, especially the ones who are transactional. They're trying to make deals happen, so that's why they're always networking, because these attorneys want to make some deals. And this is where you can find them, at the industry mixers and networking functions. This is where I found some of mine. Now here comes the online thing. You can search online at places like the American Bar Association. I've seen them there, but it's kind of a tough way to navigate that site. Another good site is this one, Martindale-Hubbell's directory. What I'd like to do with this one is on Martindale-Hubbell's directory, you can compare that directory with the people on LinkedIn. If their LinkedIn profile matches with the one on Martindale, then you know that this attorney really wants to work. And so this might be a good source for you to get started, right? You can reach out to them from a cold email or a cold call, and they may take it. All attorneys do not take new clients. Some of them like to take established new clients more so than a brand new client fresh off the boat or just getting started. There are levels of attorneys who are, who don't mind serving the brand new artists, but you're usually getting them at the beginning of their career or when things have slowed down for them. So that's one thing to look out for. You can also reach out to the local bar association and ask them for a referral, or you can reach out to the state entertainment association if you have one. And sometimes this could be stuff like the Recording Academy and BMI and whatnot. You can talk to somebody at BMI in your local market, and they can definitely refer you to an attorney. Okay, so you have to figure out who you need to ask, but just start asking, and you'll find what you need. Now, I said this on the channel before. I forgot which video it was, but you want to find a lawyer that works within your genre and, that understands your position. They got to understand that you're a brand new record label. You don't really know how to read the contracts that they're going to draw up. So you need a little bit of help with the explanation, and they got to have the time to really explain some of the things to you. They're not going to really hold your hand through it, but they will explain some things to you so that you understand what it is you're going to get people to sign. You get what I'm saying? The next thing is you want to work with an attorney that works within your genre. If this attorney works in the pop music world and you're over here in hip hop and they have never worked with anybody in the hip hop world, then chances are the way and the style and the mentality that they use to craft the contract won't be conducive to your environment, conducive to your genre. On the flip side, let's just take it from genre and take it to the style. If this attorney's thing is actually working with people in the live sector, negotiating live music contracts, touring contracts, but you're trying to get a record contract and they don't have any experience negotiating or crafting record contracts, you don't want that type of attorney. You want to ask these questions. What do you have experience in drafting? And if they say, well, I have to use the team, we have a team of lawyers. If they say that we have a team of lawyers, your contract is going to cost you more money. Or they're going to have to work on a deal, okay? So you want to be careful with that. You want to find the attorney that actually knows what they're doing. Sometimes when you're working with firms, it can be a little bit of difficulty there because you want to find the right attorney in that firm. Our next thing here is we don't want to get stuck on big names. Hear me out. In the beginning, you only need a contract. And I'm going to tell you the two. As a brand new record label, you only need the recording contract if you're signing people. If you plan on signing them with publishing, you need the recording contract and the co-publishing clause in there. Or if you want to go heavier than that, then by all means, go ahead and do your 360 deal. All right. But in most cases, you just need a standard dope recording contract. You also need producer agreements that attach to the recording contract. Okay. And if you're doing anything else, like, possibly managing this artist, I don't recommend it if you're a new record label, but it happens. And if you have to manage the artist, you're going to need that management contract as well. That can get real sticky. But you need that. That's what you need. You need the attorney that can craft and draft the contract to your liking so that you're good and so that you're secure. We don't need retainer services yet because, number one, you can't afford it. You can't afford it. And number two, you don't have enough transactions on business coming in yet. So you don't need to pay a retainer fee. Once you have this contract in place, you can begin to build the relationship with the attorney, right? Maybe schedule some time with them so they know that, hey, this guy does want to do business with me. I've already done his contracts, but he keeps checking in with me, letting me know what's going on. He's paying for time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you want to build that relationship. And then if you're also out on the scene and they're on the scene active as well, you're going to run into each other. They're going to introduce you to some connections that you didn't even have. You get what I'm saying? That's why I said in the intro, the attorney is one of the first doors of access in the music business. Now, if they're not able to give you what you need, you can easily cut ties and move on. But just don't get caught up on finding the ultimate lawyer. We just need them for what we need them for at the moment. And if it's good, we can build a relationship off of that. Now, I thought I would be looking for an attorney that would last me for quite a while. Yeah, I hear you. But remember, we just said we only need the contracts first. Trademarking services will be coming. They can get quite expensive when you're dealing with an attorney on top of the actual fee itself, and you haven't really put much or set aside enough budget for advertisement, not for just recording and getting all that stuff done, but just to advertise your product and your brand. You ain't even got there yet. So we're not ready for that yet. We just need what we need. This lawyer may last you for a while, but chances are you're probably going to move on. Well, how do I know if they're the right lawyer for me? We don't. The thing is, we're trying to get the product first, the contracts. Get the contracts, establish the relationship. Well, what if I'm not happy with their work? Well, the thing is, you're just going to have to take a loss. Now, I've bailed on attorneys' fees personally myself before, but the thing is, you can't bail on the final draft. If they don't give you your contract in a timely manner, they don't do it to your liking, they don't complete the process, things like you can bail on it. You can bail on it. Come on, man. It's just like, you got to give me the product. But if they do give you that final draft and you like, yo, I'm out, you can't do that. But, you can exit this particular situation if you don't like the work they're doing. Now, here's what I need you to do. I need you to really get busy on your networking game. Find this attorney. Get the contact. Get the contract. Get the contact. Get the contract. Get prepared to sign this artist, or get prepared to, Get some of these beats, buy these beats with your producer contract. Don't forget to grab the 60-day record label as you're building this record. If you haven't gotten that book by now in this process and you're still watching these videos, man, I really need you to get on top of it. So grab the 60-day record label, book a call with me if you need further assistance in this process at musicmoneymakeover.com. Now, here's my point. At the end of the day, the contract that you receive from the attorney will always be better than the one on Google, because they're going to really redline it, really check it for security flaws and issues for their client, which is you. And you'll sleep better at night knowing that your contract is ironclad, is solid. And that way, when you sign people, you won't sign people wondering if, well, I wonder if this is gonna, is this gonna affect me in a certain way? No, because you already talked about all the security issues and risks that you would have by signing this agreement with another party. But if you can't afford the attorney and you gotta go to Google, I suggest that you know how to read this contract and know what it says or know what is missing so you can add it in. You're on your own on this one. You get what I'm saying? So try to get the attorney first, save up some money for that. Now, if you were intimidated in the beginning, at least you now know how to find an attorney. You now know the benefit, not only contractual wise, but connection wise, the attorney will actually bring to your record label structure. And you're one step closer to becoming that record label boss that you always wanted to be, and that I see you as. You know what I mean? Anyway, music money makers, if you make music, you should always make money. Visit musicmoneymakeover.com, book a call, grab the 60-day record label, and I'll see you next time. Peace.